I am running for Minnesota Senate District 67. That's the east side of St. Paul, not East St. Paul. Okay, just get that out of the way because I get a lot of flack for that. So just making sure. I am a husband to my beautiful wife, Cassie. She's hiding somewhere, of 11 years, a father of 7 beautiful children. So yes, Michelle, I do have a big family. I grew up in a family of 18 of us, but my grandparents had 28. So I am accustomed to just a large, family. So, so my family immigrated to this country, to this wonderful country, almost 30 years ago. My home country of Liberia had a civil war, but it wasn't really a civil war. It was more like a genocide. People say it's a civil war. A civil war includes both people having guns, but the other side had guns and the other people didn't have guns. So that's kind of wrong. So, we came to this country in September 27, 1993, to this wonderful country. So you guys have to understand that America is once again, America is the destination for everybody outside of this country. People want to come here, okay? And whenever people talk about America, I know for us, growing up, America was a place of hope. America was a place of comfort. I mean, people's faces lit up. People's continents was lifted just talking about this country, and I have to work on that. But yeah, so having that and, coming here and experiencing snow for the very first time was glorious for me, and glorious. So I came here with the mentality of America was great, but then staying here longer through schools, the media, and just kind of like having this anti-America sentiment, behind it. And so much so that I bought into that system, and I came here, I grew up, I went to school, I got married, and because of having that anti-America sentiment, I fell into this system, of the government dough, right? Having the government, pay for everything for me, and did so much so to my shame was that I took my family through it, and yeah, but it was because someone from my church actually had the love for me and was like, hey man, look, the Bible is clear, okay? You are physically able to provide for your wife and kids. Why aren't you doing it? Why are you letting the government do it for you? Why are you letting somebody else provide for your family? And that broke me. It took me a while to pick up my pride, and got up and did it. But that was the most loving thing someone could have done for me, was just told me the truth, because I lost that American vision that I had earlier because of that. So growing up with that, I decided to quit everything. I quit the government health care, the government food stamp, and everything. I just dropped it all. I decided to go to school full-time and work full-time. And it was the 2 of the longest years emotionally for me, because I was away from my family, but it was worth it. Because of that, I graduated college, I got into a job that was paying very well. Okay, and here I am today, a husband, a father, a small business owner, and now I am running for state senate. There we go, there we go. All right, right on, right on. Okay, all right, okay. But here's the thing. America is the perfect place for that. Nowhere else can you accomplish this so readily, but then also often. The principle is here. You also have the system to back it up. America is a wonderful place. Yeah, America has its issues, but America is the greatest nation in the world, and I know it because I came from another country, okay? And I know how people feel about America. And here I am today. Here I am. So, but yeah, so Alex, if you have it all right now, which I do, why are you running? So let's just say it's all about representation. Okay, so the last 2 years, I decided I started seeing some very disturbing things about our culture and about our society that was just really disturbing to me. You know, things like the red flag bill, the comprehensive sex education bill that almost passed, and all of those things began to really just make me nervous. You know, so I decided to quit my job, decided to be self-employed, just so that I can get involved in politics and to kind of figure out why things were happening. And I took my family with me to the state capitol every day. We were there every day from morning till night. Meetings after meetings, walk and trips in the rotunda area. We were there. Sometimes we were there from mornings at 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock maybe something in the morning for meetings. I was there, and then I got to know my representative very, very well. And these people knew me. They knew me. They loved me. In the opposite term, they hated me. They hated me. They did, because I was asking them questions. Why are you not protecting my constitutional rights? That is, literally, why, aren't you? So after much, redress and just really asking and pushing, I'm like, look, you guys are not doing what you are supposed to do. And so the opportunity came up where the current senator that is in there right now was running on opposed. So I'm complaining about it. I'm just upset, complaining. So after much prayer and talk to my wife and my pastor, my wife was like, hey, why don't you just stop complaining about it and just do something about it? My pastor was a little more loving. He was like, hey, Alex, you can be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. And I believe that I can be part of the problem. So, the solution. Oh, yeah. Woo! All right. Wow, okay. I was up till 3 o'clock this morning. Okay. All right, so good. The solution. I can be part of the solution. Can you guys edit that part? All right. right. Okay. All right. Um, so I can be part of the solution, and I am part of the solution. And my platform is very simple. First, is building a safe community. Okay. As an immigrant coming from another country, I fully understand the importance of law and order. See, people want to come here because of people want to come here because of um, many reasons. But ultimately, everything boils down to security because America is a nation of law and order, and because of that, I do not have to sit at home all day, guarding my house, guarding my family, guarding my property because we have cops and we have our public safety people for that. And I understand that because Liberia didn't have that. Everything was gone. The war destroyed everything. So because of that, I understand the importance of our public safety, right? Because safety is everything. America wouldn't be the place that it is without our policies, without our Second Amendment rights. You know, it just wouldn't be. So I fully understand that. So that is why I support our cops. I want them funded. I want them funded, and I want them to be the best, the best cop district within our state. Okay, because I want them to know that they have an ally in me. Okay, because when I like do something, I just go in. I am in. So when I got married or decided to marry my wife, I went out. I talked to her father. I would say, look, hey Bernie, your wife, your daughter will be better off with me. Here is why. And I went all the way down to my reasoning. And that is why I believe the East Side District will be better off with me as their senator because I will keep us safe. That I will make sure that we have 1,000 cops upon our streets. I want 1,000 cops. I want 1,000 cops first before 1,500 cops. Let's just put it like that, okay? I want that because our cops needs funding, but then also training. They need the training, but defunding them isn't the answer. Funding them is, and training them is. So that is my first platform. Secondly, education. Education. Society that are moving forward are very much educated, okay? But then also, I also believe in parental rights, the jurisdiction. We have God, we have family, and we have government, and we have everybody else, right? I also, believe in that. So because of that, I believe that education should be left in the hands of the parents because nobody else knows the child better than their parents. So it is up to the parents to decide which education system best fits their child. That's it. And so I would like to see that happen, and I am going to make that happen. Just it. And then thirdly, jobs. You know, incentive for small business. America is a place of opportunity, bountiful opportunities, lots of opportunities. I mean, I got plans in my head that are just oozing out, and I can do it. I know I can do it because I live here. I live in America, and I can do it. The principle is set up where if you are willing to work hard, you can literally accomplish anything. And nowhere else in the world can you do that. I cannot stress that enough. That is why I'm running, because America has this principle and these values, that are being degraded and being eroded away. So businesses, we need to lower regulations and taxes, for businesses to thrive. I really believe that can happen. But despite everything else, okay, nothing else will matter without a safe community, all right? And America is the perfect place for that. And America is the world's model for that. People want to come here. And I will fight to uphold our values, our values. And that's why I'm running, today, because America has provided me with so much. And so now that it is my obligation to give back, to serve, so that is why I am running as a public servant, So I had another thing that I was going to say, but it went through my mind, but that's all right. I'm just going to keep talking until it comes. Yeah, but so my view on God and the Bible. Well, God is everything. God is everything to me. He is the ultimate ruler of everything, and he is the supreme ruler of my heart. And his word, the Bible, governs me. The choices that I make, and my actions will be filtered through that. And what was the other question? God, the Bible, the Constitution. The Minnesota State Constitution is the law of our state, and that legislation should be filtered through that. Supreme Court, not Supreme Court, our U.S. Constitution. Our U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of our land. And all of our legislative process should be filtered through that. And that's what I am about. Okay, I fell in love with America on September 27, 1993. And I am still in love with America. And so much so, I started teaching a course on the Constitution. And recently, I just graduated a group of 30 people. So I love America. And people in virtual land right now, if you guys are watching and listening to me, and specifically East Side District, I am your candidate because I will represent you. And I will represent you very, very well, even if you do not vote for me. Even if you do not even like me, I will still uphold your rights, your constitutional rights, because it doesn't matter how I feel. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter if I like you. It doesn't matter if I even hate you. You will be protected, okay? And so those are my values. And I am running for Senate District 67, and I would love your vote. So that's all I got. Any questions? Questions? Did I do a really good job that nobody has questions for me? I will quickly accept. Oh, man, I was almost done. Go ahead, sir.
How do you see yourself being the solution instead of the problem with what we have going on right now inside of our cities with the racial tension?
Okay, so I think so. Right now, the racial tension between in our district, I think and I believe starts within our education system. Honestly, because growing up, I grew up that America was a racist nation. Slavery happened. Yes, slavery happened. But I was never told the full story of, wait a minute. So slavery happened then. But how come, it isn't happening now? What happened? So it's stuff like that I believe that our education system failed us and failed me, and all of those in all of those info, I had to go search it out later on, and our tax money is going there. So I believe that our education system needs to be held accountable for what what is being taught, but also that parents should be involved in knowing exactly what is taught within the schools. So it is a twofold thing, but as far as that racial tension goes, I think it goes a lot more deeper than just the school. We need to, because I am a Christian and I understand that the racial tension goes deeper than just the physical, it is a spiritual battle also. So, understanding what Jesus taught about, loving God, right, first, but also loving your neighbor as yourself, and it is the same way that God forgave us because of our sin. We can forgive others. So those are these principles and virtue. Like virtue isn't taught anymore within our culture. Virtue taught, as being honest, um, um, you know, loving your neighbors. All of those things are not being taught and promoted within our culture anymore. It's all the opposite. So because of that, of course, we will have those tension, and I would like to see virtues being taught more within our school system and communities coming alongside of each other. And all of that is part of promoting promoting reconciliation between us as people. That was long. Hopefully, I kind of yes, Michelle.
Have you ever thought about, or do you know about some kind of a sundown provision where the legislation, senators just stop and look at all the laws that we have and fix them? It's called a sundown. Have you ever do you know anything about that, or have you ever thought about how that could be accomplished? Maybe you've never heard of it.
I have never heard about it, but I understand the concept. Is that why don't we?
Repeat the question so we can hear.
Have I ever heard of a sundown? Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
A sundown, or do I know about a sundown? Was there something else that you said?
No, that was it.
Okay. I have not heard of a sundown before until now.
I think it doesn't exist. So, that was like my dad was like, we should have a sundown where the legislatures just sit and look at all the laws that we have. Remember I said 64 million, and work on them to make them constitutional, to make them better, to eradicate ones
So the the fact that we have lots of laws shows that we are a nation that is very much degrading. We have a culture that is just being eroded away. That we need all of these laws to some kind of how like kind of bring us back together. No, I think we need to look at those, those laws, and then, apply the ones, but also get rid of some of them. I believe that. We have too much laws. Well, 65 million, that's a lot. I think there was a book that I read that the average person commit 3.5 felonies a day, and they do not even know it. Like that's how crazy it is. So yes, I agree with ma'am.
Sir Alexander, I'd like to know your position on the attempts of current legislators and some congressional people who are proposing partial and/or total decriminalization of prostitution
Repeat the question.
and/or slash human trafficking.
I can.
Sorry. I would like to know your position, sir, on the attempts by the current legislature and congressional people to partially or totally decriminalize prostitution slash human trafficking.
Okay, so my position on that, prostitution, prostitution itself to me shouldn't happen. It's wrong. I mean, so decriminalizing it, was that what you said?
Right, there's
Okay.
certain legislators who are trying to decriminalize prostitution and/or human trafficking.
Okay.
And they're continuing the effort. So what is your position?
Well, I think they need to criminalize it because decriminalize it will make more victims of human trafficking. So there alone you need to find out who those legislators are and vote them out. That is my stance. And if they are going to push that, they need to be gone.
Got one?
Yes, sir.
On a follow-up question, some of those same legislators have accomplished lowering the age of consensual sex to the age of 14, therefore eradicating statutory rape and prostitution. What is your position on they're still trying to lower it to the age of 12 in the state
Oh
of
my
Minnesota?
goodness.
Repeat the question so everyone else can hear.
So there are those legislatures who are trying to lower the age of consent to 12. And what is my stance on that? I think that's wrong. I think that is a terrible idea. And once again, this is a sign that our system, it slowly is being degraded. We have where it is common. I mean that. Okay, now that is just not okay at all. I'm trying to act professional without being grossed out. Okay, it's wrong, and those people need to be voted out because children are very innocent. They are, and our job as legislatures are to protect people. And when we start doing things like that, we are making them more and more vulnerable to all of the evils of our world and our cultures. Government is supposed to do no harm, all right? And doing stuff like that will harm people and will make a lot of victims. So those people need to be gone. And I am utterly against that. Yes, sir.
Taxation. I've heard you once say raising taxes should be the last resort, but what about fiscal responsibility and managing the funds that are there?
Yes. Yeah. So raising taxes should always be the last resort. So instead of us quickly going in and asking for money, why don't we look at our system and figure out where are we wasting money at? You know, we are wasting money. So apply that to your life, you know, literally. You know, the first step is stop spending money. That's just it. Stop spending money. And then figure out where you need to stop spending money on. It's just that simple, because that is the same thing I practice within my own life. That is the approach that I'm going to take also, is that fiscal responsibility of, first, we need to look at where we are spending money at. And then, stopping certain programs and saving up so we can have that funds. But we cannot continue to raise taxes. I mean, my property tax have gone up every single year. But yet it's always the same mantra every year. It's like, come on, really? So